Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Mehvish Tarik from class 8th and a student of SEI Tulbagh Pampur. Today I am here to deliver presentation about the topic agriculture. Moving to the term agriculture, first of all I will tell you some more terms. That's primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities. These activities are involved for the transmission of a plant to a finished product. Primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing and gathering are good examples of primary activity. Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. For example, manufacturing of steel, baking of bread and weaving of cloths. Tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services like transport, trade, banking, insurance and advertising. Now I will tell you about term agriculture. The word agriculture is derived from Latin word ager or agri, meaning soil, and culture meaning cultivation. That means agriculture means soil cultivation. Agriculture is the science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops and rearing livestock. It's also known as farming. Agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers and rearing of livestock. In the world, 50% of persons are engaged in agriculture activities. 2/3 of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. Favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agriculture activity. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. Now I will tell you about some various cultures. That is sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, horticulture. Sericulture, commercial rearing of silkworms. It may supplement the income of the farmer. Pisciculture, breeding of fish in especially constructed tanks and ponds. Viticulture, cultivation of grapes. Horticulture, growing vegetables, flowers and fruits for commercial use. Farm system. Agriculture or farming is a system in which seeds, fertilizers, machinery and labors are important inputs. Ploughing, sowing, irrigation, weeding and harvesting are operations involved. The outputs from the system include crop, wool, dairy and poultry products. Now I will tell you types of farming. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world. Depending upon the geographical conditions, demands of produce, labors and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. And these are subsistence farming and commercial farming. Subsistence farming, it is the practice of growing food for personal consumption. In this type of farming, low level of technology and household labors are used to produce on small outputs. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. And intensive subsistence farming, the farmers cultivate a small plot of land using simple tools and more labors. Farmers use their small land holding to produce enough for their local consumption, while remaining produce exchange against other goods. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses and seeds, oil seeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent of the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of Southeast and East Asia. Now I will tell you about primitive subsistence agriculture. Includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation, it is the form of agriculture used especially in tropical Africa, in which an area of ground is cleared of vegetation and cultivated for a few years and then abandoned for a new area until it is the further fertility has been naturally restored. Shifting cultivation is known by different names in different parts of the world. Jumming, Northeast India, Mexico as Milpa, Brazil as Roca, Ladang as Malaysia. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Now I will tell you something about nomadic herding. Nomadic herding In this type of agriculture system, food is produced for the family and fulfill the needs of clothing, shelter, and recreation. The nomad herders are dependent on sheep, camel, yak, and goats. They provide milk, meat, wool, hides, and other products to herders and their families. Now is commercial farming. It is the type of farming in which crops are grown for commercial use only and in order to sell them in market. The area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. Most of the work is done by machines. Commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture. As it is divided as commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture. Now I will tell you about commercial grain farming. Commercial grain farming crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat and maize are common commercially grown crops. Severe winter restrict the growing season and only single crop can be grown. Now is mixed farming. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. Now is plantation. Plantation is a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Large amount of labor and capital are required. Major plantations are found in the tropical regions of world. Rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka are some examples. Major crops. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirements of the growing population. They also supply raw material for agro-based industries. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize and millets. Jute and cotton are fiber crops. Important beverage crops are tea and coffee. Rice. Rice is the major food crop of the world. It is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. It grows best in alluvial clay soil which can retain water. China led in the production of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. In favorable climatic conditions as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. Wheat. Wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Wheat is grown extensively in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and India. In India, it's grown in winter. Millets. They are also known as coarse grains and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soil. It is a hardy crop that needs low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. Jowar, bajra and ragi are grown in India. Other countries are Nigeria, China and Niger. Maize. Maize is also known as corn. Various colorful varieties of maize are found across the world. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall and lots of sunshine. It needs well-drained fertile soil. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. Cotton. Cotton requires high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days to bright sunshine for its growth. It grows best on black and alluvial soil. China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. Jute. Jute was also known as golden fiber. It grows well on alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall and humid climate. India and Bangladesh are the leading producers of jute. Coffee. Moving to the term coffee, first of all, I will tell you discovery of the coffee. There are different versions about the discovery of coffee. In about 850 AD, Khaldi, named Khaldi, an Arab goat herder who was puzzled by cure antics of his flocks, tasted the berries of the evergreen bush on which the goats were feeding on experiencing a sense of exhilaration. He proclaimed his discovery to the world. Coffee requires warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. Brazil is the leading producer, followed by Colombia and India. Tea. Tea is a beverage crop grown on plantation. This requires cool climate and well-distribution high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. It needs well-drained loamy soil and gentle slopes. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality tea in the world. Agriculture development. Agriculture development refers to the efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Or we can say that agriculture development is the ability to develop some better system of agriculture production. Agriculture has developed at different places in different parts of the world. Larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture in USA, Canada and Australia. Now, moving to the farm in USA. The average size of a farm in USA is much larger than that of an Indian farm. A typical farm size in the USA is about 250 hectares. The farmer generally resides in the farm. Some of the major crops are grown are corn, soybean, wheat, cotton and sugarcane. Thanks. It's all about this chapter. Thanks. Have a nice day.